think our just put up the tweet. Put up the tweet. I think that's where we should
I know,
start.
that was what I was going to ask about.
Oh wait, then just edit this part out, and then we can be organic.
I'm not responsible for what's about to pop up. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
The meeting is being.
Oh, okay. This is good. Okay, go to 97 demo. Oh yeah, they're probably. Oh, go on their page. That's even better. So they did.
Here we go. How do y'all feel about this?
Oh my gosh.
Our first interaction with a musical people group.
Legit.
Entity.
Wow, look, it's okay. First of all, it's weird seeing we're recording this and then we're seeing the video of us recording the podcast.
I hate that it was the episode where my mic and my lighting were off. I'm a professional.
It's a little deja vu kind of type feel.
It's like Inception.
Tenet. It's like Tenet.
It's a podcast within a podcast.
Like,
podcast within a podcast. Honestly, this is actually pretty awesome.
Podcast. Hold on. For our audio listeners who we forget about, on the screen, Spillage Village. As you know, we post a weekly clip every week about something from our last episode. You posted a little bit from our Spillage Village review, just talking about the religious themes in the album, all of that, what we thought it meant, how we interpreted it. Posted it on Twitter, and lo and behold, the actual Spillage Village account quotes our tweet. They say, "Thank you for leading your ears and energy. But this isn't an album about religion. It takes a village is the underlining theme. Unity, family, and friends are repeated subjects throughout. The cover and names are odes to religious references, but it's called Spill-Igen for a reason." Putting us in our place and basically saying, you're wrong. Which was like actually really cool because, the music is open for interpretation, right? But it's still cool to hear what people who actually created the music say it's about, so huge. Noah?
Yeah, I actually kind of appreciated that. Like even though we all loved that, we all really enjoyed the album. I'm kind of glad that we all had like really interesting opinions about it. It wasn't like this is just amazing album, all that. So I'm kind of glad they came back, and so it's kind of like open discussion about it. It like you, Nnamdi, it just shows like music can be interpreted all kind of different ways. And even though an artist might put an album or music out to, it's not like, they want it put out for a certain, they're trying to get out for a certain message, but that's what music's for. It's for the people's interpretation based on what they listen to. So I'm kind of glad of the response. I didn't take it as like a diss or anything like that.
I didn't at all either. We are a podcast that I think our Twitter page has like 48 followers on it. Like we are like the fact that they saw the video and watched it alone is enough for me to feel good because they watched the whole thing, like for them to respond and know what we were talking about.
Apparently. Well, then they said, then on we commented, "Thank you for explaining. We hope you guys get a chance to listen to the full review. We all still really enjoyed the album." And they said, "Saw it. Very dope. Just had to clear that part up, and also would only give the platform to some young brothers on the come up. True meaning behind the music, which is super dope."
I don't think they gave us young brothers on the come up. And Avery.
Brothers.
I'm kidding. No, bro, they gave us young brothers on the come up. Like, I respect that so much. We want to give y'all the true meaning, like behind the music, which ultimately is what the whole point of a review is about, to try to figure out, in my opinion at least, to try to figure out the true meaning of the album and review it as that. So I really appreciate them.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like they got the sense that like, wow, they actually heard the music. Wow, look how many views we got on that video. 1.8K. That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Come back down.
Yeah.
Who is Austin 10? The village gets it. What are you trying to say, Austin? Oh, Austin. Oh.
Austin, whatever.
No, this is really great. I feel like I have a better understanding of the album as a whole now, just because I can imply my own interpretation of it, along with like, what they said is like, this is what we intended to do. So I think
and you don't always get that from artists too. Sometimes people will be like, I hate it. We don't always Avery told you to scroll up.
Oh, sorry.
No, we don't always get like an artist's true intentions about an album, or like they actually meant this. They are most times you hear interviews like this, listen to the album, you're find out. So like it's kind of cool that they did this. So. And
it's the truth. Unity, family, and friends are indeed themes.
Yeah, and this is the actual account, guys. For the record, I know people were like, "That's not."
I know it's not verified. But Jid follows it. And
Jid follows it. He's tweeted it. So all those artists actually follow it. So it's pretty awesome. I'm hyped. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So is this?
Maybe Jid watched a video of us, guys. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we also don't know who actually mans the account. So maybe it was Jid, maybe it was
Jid or Earthgang because they started the group basically, right?
True.
I'm gonna assume it wasn't, but I figured they watched the video, so.
But anyway, that was cool. That was very, very much so a cool, validating type of experience in doing this. So, you know, if Earthgang, Jid, and the rest of the gang are listening to us, what's stopping you? You feel me?
They're listening right now.
They're listening right now.
True. But what's stopping you from getting your friends too? You heard.
And J. Cole, Jermaine.
Yeah,
no, that's a real question because now that I feel like we're kind of, there's a Dreamville connection now.
There's easily a connection.
There's definitely that connection.
There's a connection. There is a connection.
I think it's fair to say that J. Cole has reportedly listened to that clip.
I think I say he has. I say he's listened to the clip.
I think if you just look at the facts and pay attention to it.
Nnamdi, how do you feel that J. Cole potentially maybe has a small chance of watching you have spoken about something?
Boom. Here, and I'll tell you the whole connection right now could happen. Boom. Video seen on Twitter. Someone's like, what are these fools talking about? I can't believe they heard this. They drop it in the group chat. Look at what these three young brothers on the come up, you know, said about our video. They drop it in the group chat. Oh, LOL, that's crazy. Y'all, should we clown them or should we respond? No, you know,
J. Cole, and no, I got you. J. Cole was like, man, these brothers, they really listen to the music. They gave their honest opinions, man. I appreciate that.
See, you're right. Because they were probably kind of mad. It's probably like, yo, what are they talking about being critical about the album?
And J. Cole was like,
listen.
J. Cole's like, listen, brother. You heard they said they enjoyed the album.
What they saying with
listen to they say with their ears. So that's what I'm saying,
Speaks like a poet.
Exactly.
It's like 6 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon. It's 6 degrees of Dreamville. You know,
exactly. So that was easily the coolest moment of last week. I think, this may be my favorite episode opener so far.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I guess that only leaves you know.
Welcome to the podcast. I was like,
the latest in music, news, and a whole bunch more along the way. I always say music, common news. It's really music news, or I guess both. Sometimes they intersect. I'm one third of your hosts. Excuse me, my grammar. Nnamdi Agwanwu on Twitter at @NamAgwan, joined by
Noah McGee at Noah A McGee _.
And I'm Avery. I'm so glad we got that nice,
right?
And concisely. No awkward pause this time.
And it wasn't
that
rehearsed.
Was great.
That was great. That was just
well, awesome. It might as well have been at this point. Where how many episodes in?
You guys, so we're playing around with the new for our return listeners. We're playing around with the new format this week. You'll see why when we get into our episode topic, which I guess I don't really want to tell you yet. Just follow the ride. But we're going to start with music headlines. And boy, is this a story to start with. I don't even know if he did this order on purpose, but it's easily something worth talking about.
Well, it's the biggest news in the music of the week, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So this finally happened. Torey Lanez was charged with felony assault in the Meg Thee Stallion shooting case. I've been very, very particular with how I speak on this because one, I don't think it's my place, and two, because this is treated like a gossip hot topic story when it's really an assault story. Like a black woman was assaulted.
It's criminal.
It's criminal. It's not. This isn't like a. It's become so much of a trending topic that I think sometimes the seriousness and like the significance of this incident is sort of understated. But yeah, so as when this incident first occurred, everyone was asking, is it true Torey Lanez only got one charge for having
divided? It was divided.
There was debate,
Mm-hmm.
Now whether there should have been debate, I know where I stand on that.
Well, this is what I have to say. This is what I have to say on that. It's like the people who are there's the sides that are like, I believe Torey Lanez, to the side that's like, I believe Megan, and there's the side of people's like, we really don't know what happened, which is true. We really don't know what happened. So I was just like, I was on the side of like, there's no reason for me not to believe Megan, and that's what I just went with for now. That's what I was just going. I was like, there's no reason for not to believe Megan. There's no reason for her to just say, hey, I just got shot. Like, I don't know what she would gain from that personally, but I just can't see the things like that. So
the only gossipy part of the story came from his side of it.
Yeah,
like you said, she had nothing to gain from any of it. She was on her Instagram Live telling people what happened. I don't know why people didn't believe her. And then he obviously did that horrible thing where he released music last week about it. So
I know we, I think, decided collectively just not to even speak on that project.
Yeah.
But I am still shocked.
Well, we're gonna have to talk about it when we get to a chart.
We are, but maybe I'll say, you're right. I'll save it. But anyway, the everyone knows the incident at this point. If he's convicted for this charge.
So essentially, he's gonna go to court. He's probably not gonna do 23 years. Probably, I'm just gonna assume he's probably not gonna end up doing 23 years. Probably. I feel like.
I don't even want to. He maybe uses a lesson. I'm not even. Sentencing yet.
If he did it, there's no reason why he shouldn't go to prison and do time. Like a lot of time. There's no reason if he's convicted, So.
Absolutely.
We'll see. We gotta wait and see.
Definitely agreed, and of course, sending.
Oh yeah, Megan, great performance.
Megan still, because I'm sure this has to be incredibly difficult to publicly
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Just go through everything.
In better news, Avery, would you like to introduce?
Yeah.
Wait, and y'all, I'm sorry. There's one line from that thing, and then real quick. He was charged with assault from a semi-automatic firearm.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that's not understated. Semi-automatic. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Next story.
That says everything you need to say. But yeah. But in a more lighthearted story.
More lighthearted. Why is this
lighthearted?
So
large? Cool.
Okay.
Cool story.
I just thought that was kind of cool. Phoebe Bridgers launched her own label called Saddest Factory. Obviously a play on the word Satisfactory, but it's called Saddest.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's like a subsidiary. Sense. Yeah, and it's a subsidiary of the label that she's on right now called Dead Oceans. I was reading through it and I thought she said the reason she started is because if she was just like, I don't know if I'm bringing Spotify into these aren't her words, but if she's like just going through Spotify and finds a new artist that she likes and finds out they're independent or something, she would want to sign them just because she wants other people to enjoy their music just like she does. I thought that was kind of cool. And she also said that how she got it was she literally just asked her label, like, can I start my own? And they were like, yeah.
So is her label, is it like an independent label? Is that the label she's on? That's
Dead
so
Oceans,
interesting. Yeah, it's so weird. I get so confused with artists, like they're on a label and they create a label under the label. I get so lost sometimes.
I know, there's a lot.
I get so lost. It's
Which
really
Dead Oceans, like the one that she's on, Dead Oceans itself is a subsidiary of another label.
Yeah,
so
I wonder so does independent just means you're not connected to the big three? Is that all that qualifies for independent? When I saw subsidiary of another independent, now I'm like, well,
because exactly. A lot of people that are independent are not actually like independent that's signed to an independent label. I don't even know what that means. We need to talk about that. That's gonna be a topic one day.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, she said I brought it up like, can I have a label? And they were like, yeah, totally. So
yeah. And it's also interesting considering she only has 2 albums out. Like usually you hear about artists having like, they're really seasoned artists that have come out, usually in rap, because I feel like rap is the one that's most, notably used for like artists creating a label. And it's after they've had like, 4 albums, they've been in the game for 10 years. Phoebe Bridgers, I would still say is fairly a new artist for the most part. She only has 2 albums out.
Avery, I like this line a lot. She says that she'll sign acts across genre based on the most pure criteria. The quality of their songs, this is Phoebe, an obvious requirement, but one that isn't always given the same weight as an artist's social media following, cosigns, and other indicators of hype. So I like that.
I'm just waiting. Right here is good too. She says, if I like it and I listen to it for pleasure, then other people will like it and listen to it for pleasure. I don't think I have any ethos other than am I jealous?
I'm just waiting for Phoebe Bridgers to sign a rap artist. It's gonna happen.
Hilarious.
But is there a rap artist now that you could imagine being signed to this label? Who's one of those sad boy rappers?
Yeah, who's a sad rapper?
Ooh,
that's interesting.
Came to mind. Never.
No, I can't. That's a good one. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I just thought that was cool.
That's cool.
Okay. We really did not structure this because it's gonna be up and this is a good next one. Okay, J Balvin. Still on positive news. So the Travis Scott collab was so successful that McDonald's didn't even wait. And I'm interested to see if they had these already lined up and then launched this, or if this happened because of the success of the first. But McDonald's is collabing with J Balvin.
Is it J Balvin?
I feel like that.
Balvin.
But the way I said it is how I felt. It's how I feel it's supposed to be said.
Gotcha.
So if it comes natural to me, I feel like hopefully it's right to someone. But anyway, Latin pop sensation, huge global superstar, the genius behind for our American audience listeners, Despacito, which was a global hit before Justin Bieber got on, and it became a hit here as well. But all that to say, huge sensation, is now collabing with McDonald's. He has his own meal, the J Baldwin meal, which is just a Big Mac, medium fries, and an Oreo McFlurry. And the thing I love about this is that these meals are literally like, they're just regular meals. And I guess that makes it more believable, right? So that's why
they brought it up later in the article. It says that part of the reason they do that is so that they're not requiring extra stress on the people who actually work at the restaurants to learn something new.
Yeah,
and it's similar to what Chipotle did with like a bowl, something or the other, a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's like it's extra stress because there's like more people coming to the restaurants, but for the people who actually work there, there's like not a learning curve. Oh my goodness.
I'm a very big fan of the Oreo McFlurry and fries because I think that's a great combo.
Yeah, fries always good.
To that one.
Yeah, even though we're gonna have a conversation about who has the best fries one day, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we already have some topic ideas like that.
But this is interesting because according to the article in the first graph, it says became a smash success. McDonald's is creating another celebrity meal, so it kind of feels like after Travis Scott, then they were like, we're gonna do this.
But this works.
Yeah, I'm interested with this because with Travis Scott, there's a whole fan base, not like a whole culture around it in terms of like his merch and everything like that. So it's just a thing.
Is there merch for this?
That's what I'm wondering.
Would be, but I don't see. Do they say it's somewhere down there if they're doing a whole merch?
I don't see
anything. Thing too. I mean, I know to your point. But
this feels more like the Migos Popeyes thing. Remember they did that? Remember they did the Migos Popeyes thing, and it was like, hey.
That?
Yeah, remember that? Remember that? No. It was like they did like this Migos Popeyes thing. It was like, hey, get this for this amount of money. I was like, oh, okay.
That's what I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing that makes me respect the Travis Scott deal even more is if the merch thing was his idea, was like, I will do this if like in addition to you having your meal and using my likeness and all that, I'll even give you a song called Franchise. Like, I don't know if Travis Scott's business genius was the reason he was like, I also want to have a merch line that you'll promote. I want to have a song called Franchise that you'll promote and put in a commercial. Like if that, because that's not in this. I thought the merch was maybe a McDonald's thing, but that's not here. So yeah, global branding king, in my opinion, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how he's gonna do this. I don't know if he has that same kind of reach in terms of his. I'm not saying his fans don't buy his merch, but everybody wants to buy Travis Scott merch. Like that McDonald's merch is probably reselling on eBay as we speak for $1,000.
That the restaurants, it says right here, we're running out of ingredients to make his like simple meal. Yeah. So I wonder if it's a similar thing's gonna happen here, which is kind of crazy because it like wasn't even a crazy meal or anything.
It's literally you could get this, I think, for $6 regardless.
Literally anywhere.
If you wanted to.
$6.
It was like $6.
That's a lot of money. McDonald's, they lower them prices.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so now we're getting to a story that's a little bit of a little bit more serious, but I think it's a very, very important story.
I would say these next two are very serious and important.
Yeah. But so for those who haven't, I'm Nigerian. I think that's told by my name. So this story has been one that isn't.
Oh, really? You're Nigerian?
Oh, yeah, I am. Wow.
Know.
Yeah, and I know that may be a shock.
Nnamdi Agwawu. Wow. Never knew that.
I know. But yeah, so this story isn't new. It's been present for a very long time. But basically Nigerian activists, which includes musicians, so there you have your tie-in, they're protesting this police brutality on their own fronts. There is a group called SARS, which I believe stands for the Special Anti-Robber unit. Special Anti-Robbery Squad. And they're basically a police unit that has a ton of power, doesn't have that much accountability, and kind of do whatever they want. Extortion's kind of the normal. You get pulled over, if you pay. If you don't pay, then you're probably gonna get taken down to jail or something. Mm-hmm. It's common when you're traveling or just moving to just get kind of harassed. Because again, whenever you have a system of power that's given a ton of power, a ton of jurisdiction, but not that much accountability, you're creating an environment where something can pop off, and abuse can just be encouraged. And I think that's what happens here. So there's been a ton of protests in Nigeria, and I mean massive protests, driven by the
video,
youth, similar to what you see in America, driven by the youth. saying end SARS, and like, you know, this is a huge thing. Is we need police reform, we need justice reform. There needs to be more accountability for this group because they have been behind. There's been like kidnappings, there has been robberies. I know for a fact extortion happens because I've been privy to that myself during my time in Nigeria. So it's just it's something that has happened for years, and that needs more attention. So this is getting a little bit more widespread attention now because there have been some American artists who also have been talking about it. So
we have Lil Baby,
Moneybagg Yo, Chance the Rapper, are just a few of the people I saw. And everyone on the youth in Nigeria have been tweeting different national media outlets nonstop. And the difference now is some people are actually beginning to look at it. And some of those media outlets are beginning to cover this story. Because for me, it's a simple matter of the fact of, I think it's helpful when we in America are just fighting for police reform and, you know, highlighting police brutality, and people are fighting for reform and saying this is an issue. I think it's helpful to be able to take a step back and say, this is happening all over the world. I think it's helpful to be able to see that you're not alone in that fight, that in Nigeria, you know, they're also fighting for some kind of police reform because, again, it's too much power given to a group and not enough accountability. So hopefully this gets more attention. A lot more people, I think, are aware of this than there were just last week or 2 weeks ago. So something I'm happy that we got to discuss.
Yeah, it seems like in the last couple of days, I would say, like last 3-4 days, it's gaining more traction. And obviously you mentioned it, but police brutality, you know, police reform is something that's going on all around the world. You know, in Africa, even in the South America, there was protests going on. In Mexico, I saw protests going on.
Happening in India.
Everywhere on it. Exactly. So it's becoming more present now to people, but none of this is anything new, any of this. So yeah, it's good to see this. And and see it happening all over the world, because it's not just a America issue or, you know, a United States issue. It's obviously an international issue. So
exactly.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and then this is also a story that's equally important and kind of, you know, speaking of the topic, it makes, you know, it's a pretty good time. But yeah, Jay-Z. Well, I think we have to start with Alvin Cole. So in Wisconsin, there's a 17-year-old named Alvin Cole who was fatally shot and killed by a police officer. Long story short, is kind of the similar narrative you're used to. There was the officer involved, at least in this case, wasn't charged. He's not going to face any criminal charges because basically the district attorney in Milwaukee determined that there was enough evidence to believe that the use of force was objectively reasonable. So there have been a ton of protests over there that I don't think are, you know, unfortunately, one of the problems that there being so many stories like this is I think each time the media attention grows smaller and smaller. But there have been a ton of protests in Wisconsin over this. And a ton of people were arrested, including, I believe, Alvin Cole's mother. And Jay-Z, through his Rock Nation, their social justice initiative called Team Rock, they paid a lot of those court fees for, I know, his mother, and then his mother's sisters and some protesters as well. So yeah, Jay-Z, I feel, has kind of worn his social justice, his drive to do a lot within the social justice realm. He's worn that on his chest, and I think he's often put his money where his mouth is. Of course, everyone talks about his NFL deal and what he's doing with them now, but I also think it's worth highlighting that in a lot of these protests, this isn't new. He has been involved in like bailing people out. He's done that for black celebrities that have come out and said, hey, yeah, when I was in jail, Jay-Z helped me pay for my court fees. And even, why am I forgetting, who was in like Sweden or Poland, A$AP Rocky, when that happened to him, Jay-Z, I think, was involved in that as well. So I think it's worth highlighting.
Yeah, no matter, you know, Jay-Z has some controversy, especially with the NFL thing about, you know, his intentions and whatnot. But, you know, with that also, he also did that documentary on Khalif Browder, who was the black man who was in New York City, who was basically in jail for years. He never even went to court or anything like that. He ended up coming out and he ended up killing himself. But there was a documentary on that on Netflix, which is really good. People should check that out. When Meek Mill was in jail, he was really trying to help him get out too also. So, you know, Jay-Z has his, you know, the things where people are like, oh, Jay-Z, I don't know about that. But he does things like this, which, you know, however you feel about him, you can't, you know, you got to respect that in that way. So yeah.
Yeah, so you can say what you want about Jay-Z and his wealth and how, you know, the system that's enabled him to accumulate said wealth, but I think it's really obvious at this point that like he does care about these issues. It hasn't just been a 1-time or a 2-time or a 3-time thing. Like he continues to advocate for these causes and kind of put some of his money where his mouth is. So
yeah, for sure. So
yeah, so that's highlighting Rock Nation there and Jay-Z for the good work they're doing. I'm
not laughing at you. No, it's not at you. It's just like it made it sound like it was like Martin Luther King, and it's just a music. It's nothing bad. I just laughed at that. I don't know why. I respect what Jay-Z's doing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you.
No, can you please be professional on this?
I'm professional. It was just.
No. Our 34 viewers, they come here and they have an expectation.
No.
So if you could please get it together for them.
I don't know why I laughed at that. I just couldn't hold it in, man. It was nothing bad, nothing funny, really that funny.
Those were a couple of heavy topics right there. So.
Yeah. No, can I talk to you outside for a second?
off mic. You know what? Give me a call real quick.
Let's talk off mic for one second. Okay, well, look, music. Let's. I think that did provide a transition. So, new releases this week. There was a fairly good amount. Some of the big albums: Trey Songz, Back Home, Reason, New Beginnings, Black Boy JB at Fat Boy, and then Therese Martin and Ninth Wonder released a deluxe version of Dinner Party, which I think we all love, Dinner Party Dessert. And then beyond that, we had a couple big songs, Anderson .Paak Jules. There was a remix to Franchise that just put Future on a song that already had 2 other rappers on it. And then let's see, I like Baby I'm Jealous, Baby Rexha, Doja Cat, probably the biggest pop release on here. So gentlemen, what did you listen to? What did you like?
Go ahead, Avery.
I listened to the Reason album and I really enjoyed it. I didn't really listen to any of the singles leading up to it. I'm not sure why. Just didn't. I don't know.
He released half the album before it came out.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Really did.
I felt like there was a lot coming out. So I finally listened to the album. I actually really enjoyed it. I was getting ready in the morning or something and put that on. I had a really good time listening to it. The Therese Martin Ninth Wonder Dinner Party Dessert album. Love YB and Cordae. I thought it was a really fun feature on there.
And Cordae, just Cordae.
just Cordae. No, Snoop Dogg's throughout the whole thing, and then he does like the last. It was kind of fun. It felt very intimate, I thought, and I really enjoyed that.
Oh, really? I want to listen to that now.
Yeah, he's like narrating the whole album.
Yeah.
Do we have that on here, or am I just missing it?
No, it's on there.
Yeah, it's the Dinner Party
Dessert album.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Corday's on there?
He's on there. Songs,
yeah.
Oh.
And then Snoop Dogg narrates throughout the whole thing. It sounds like he's next to a fireplace or something. It's kind of fun.
I can already anticipate that being Project of the Week for me next week.
I can see it being a Project of the Week next week. Anderson .Paak came out with Jules. Anderson .Paak just makes certified hits. He doesn't miss ever. And it was good. I enjoyed the song. Not like my favorite song he's ever come out with, but it's something I'm definitely gonna keep coming back to just because it's funky and fun.
Yeah, it sounds like I want to say typical, but it's a normal Anderson.
That's
Paak
how
song.
I described it though. It sounds like the Anderson .Paak song,
which is good.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Anderson .Paak song is often good, but I think it was an Anderson .Paak song.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Yeah, so I also listened to the Reason album, the Therese Martin album, the usuals, Anderson .Paak. The Benny the Butcher, Big Sean, Lil Wayne song, which feels like Benny the Butcher's big release since he got Big Sean and Lil Wayne. It looks like he's getting ready for his album in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So. I think it's next week, isn't it?
I think next week. I think you're right, next week. So we'll see that. It sounds like big production on that. So we'll see how it goes. I listened to Masego, which the song was
I enjoyed that song.
You love that song? You love that song? I enjoyed it. It was cool. I really enjoyed the Xavier Omar song.
Yeah, that was good.
That was my with Mariba, who's also on Spillage Village. Check that out. So Xavier Omar featuring Mariba, Like I Feel. He was my project of the week a couple weeks ago too. So
I remember that. That was a really good album. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was really good. Taylor Bennett, which is that's Chance the Rapper's brother, right?
It is.
That's Chance the Rapper's brother. Be Yourself Part 2. It was cool. I really liked it.
Was it more like rap or is it more poppy? I know he's in the middle sometimes.
Yeah, it was a little in the middle. I don't know how to explain it. I guess he did that thing where he kind of sing and rap. I don't know.
Taylor,
I really enjoyed it.
He's a good artist.
He's good though.
Does he sound like Chance in his music?
A little bit,
but not too much.
You can tell they're related.
He doesn't exaggerate his voice as much, I would say. Yes. How Chance really exaggerates that. that.
What if that's how he talks, no?
No, he doesn't talk like that. But I'm saying he really exaggerates it. It's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. But that's what it. Also, the Big Boy. That song was cool. My boy, Big Boy, Sleepy Brown, Big Group, and Killer Mike, who's like the best in the game right now. Basically,
Atlanta legends.
Yeah, Killer Mike is basically
like words to Atlanta.
I mean, this is the thing, y'all. Killer Mike, I'm not saying he's like the best, but like who raps better? Like who's better? You can't say anybody's better than Killer Mike. You can say somebody's just as good. Like who's better than Killer Mike? Seriously.
Like Atlanta specific or in general?
I'm talking about in general in rap. Who's better?
He's a great rapper.
You can say you can say I like it the other guy's music, but you can't say anybody raps better than Killer Mike. You can say they rap just as good, but Killer Mike is like one of the best rappers out right now. So a good week of music, a solid week of music. Looks like a lot of singles for albums that's coming out. So
yeah. The only really things that, as far as singles, we all named the albums that I feel we probably all gave a gander already. Only single to listen to in addition is I listened to the Masego single. Like I said, I really liked it. It was kind of Afrobeatish, and I'm always a fan of that kind of thing. I listened to the OT Genesis record, which was interesting.
How was that? Charlie Brown or Charlie Wilson? I
listened to it for Charlie Wilson because I was like, okay,
Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm into that. It was. I would encourage you to just give it a gander. It was fine. I don't know if it was impressionable.
Was Charlie Wilson the standout? Obviously, I feel like most times it's standout, which is a good thing.
Yeah, which is a good thing. But yeah.
Did anybody listen to this remix of Franchise?
I did, and my thing is it's fine, but it's also kind of like Franchise already had Young Thug and MIA.
I was like, what changed? It's like it felt like Future could have been on the first one. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's a spectacular song.
Future wasn't on the first one? Was Future on the first one?
No, he's part of the remix. Young Thug and MIA were on the first one, the Future's.
Yeah, Young Thug, MIA, and then Future hopped on it because of the.
Wait a second, and it was. I listened to it. I just gotta make sure I didn't.
Exactly. It's like what changed?
No,
Wait a second. Yeah, I wish they did like a beat switch and Future came in or something like that. Wouldn't that be cool if they did a beat switch at the end?
So perfectly catered to Future's.
That would be cool. I wonder if Future was supposed to be on the original, but he just didn't like get a verse back in time or something.
Or kind of wish he did somebody other than Future, like he did somebody else like random. It was like, oh, we got him on that song.
And then I did listen to this BB Rexa Doja Cat song, "Baby I'm Jealous." It wasn't for me, but I think it's like
it was fine.
It was fine. It felt. I feel like with pop now, if you're gonna do pop, you have to do it like differently and well, and it just felt like a pop song.
Well, I know Doja Cat still, people still don't know how to feel about her. I don't know how to feel about her now.
I think musically, Doja Cat's really good. I think on it when it comes to her music, I think she really has an uncanny skill to identify like what will be a
she has
song.
The thing is, I haven't listened to that song, but from what y'all getting, it's a little meh. But she has a sweet spot. Like Say So was really a good sweet spot in terms of her pop sound.
I think her music.
That's her music.
She had some hits off of her album.
That's what I'm saying. Like she has a really good sweet spot for that. BB, is it BB Rexa? Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
BB Rexa. Yeah. She's pop. I'll give it a listen.
For a very long time too.
Really?
I know at least since 2010. I can say that confidently.
Oh, Avery listened to the Vote song by Janae Aiko, which is obviously
It was for Blackish. I think we should preface by saying that it's for a network television sitcom. So it's not Janae Aiko ever.
With it too.
Big Sean's been on the show.
It sounded good just because I like the way Janae Aiko's voice sounds.
Was she on the episode? Like, was she in the episode?
I'm not sure. I did not.
No, y'all.
That's interesting because Big Sean was in an episode of Blackish one time. He was in an episode, so interesting.
But no, the song was very like pandery. It was like go vote. It's the only way to use your voice.
Okay. Well, really quick, favorite release, and if you're saying an album, say the song from the album.
Crap. This is tough, Nnamdi. You put me on the spot.
It's the dinner. It's definitely the dinner party remix.
Dinner party stood out the most to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't listen to the.
It's the Freeze Tag remix with Corday. So.
It's so good.
I think it's the best song off the original album, and then they put Corday on it.
Right now.
Cooler.
I'm going with Sleepless Nights, which is the first song. Sleepless Nights. Oh yeah.
So I think we killed it. We killed it.
It's the same. It's the Felix guy. The Felix guy.
Let's leave it that way.
First off, Felix is great. I haven't listened to any individual projects by him, but everything I hear him on, like No Name's album, so good.
And you know what?
I put 20 minutes for those of you who like a short album. Like I'm definitely gonna like the minute we're done, I'm listening to the whole thing.
Oh, it's great, Nnamdi. You'll love it. You'll love it.
But because I unfortunately did, and I'll just say Silver Tongue Devil by Masego because I really enjoyed that song. It was groovy. I was a fan.
It was groovy. It was groovy.
All right, let's go ahead and get into upcoming debuts in our new order. The only things on here that I think I can actually speak on, like I and take a pretty good guess. 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, Savage Mode 2 is gonna be number 1.
Which is
I think
deserving.
that's actually already been like
confirmed
on the upcoming chart, which will update I think this Tuesday. So that's what I can say about that. Bryson Tiller, I'm sure will debut.
Top 5.
Meg Thee Stallion is going to show up somewhere on the Hot 100.
Oh, easily for sure.
Oh yeah.
What number do you think? What number do you guys think that's going to get to?
I'd say top 15. I say top 15 because the song's solid, but it's not like a certified like banger.
I know I'm not the biggest Young Thug fan in the world, obviously, but I wish he wasn't on it because she kills her parts, and then I just don't think he adds anything special to the song.
Me and Avery agree on so much. I'm with you, buddy.
You know,
like if it was just her, it'd be it'd be so good. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
because Bon Jovi is a rock legend, basically. I mean, we gotta talk about it.
Avery, Avery, can you please do your Bon Jovi rock legend hit for us, please? Your hit.
Wait, do you want me to speak on his potentially being in the village? I mean, there's 200's in a lot of albums. He might show up somewhere in there.
He gonna show up somewhere.
He'll still be somewhere. Prominently, it's 2020, and his biggest hit was like 50 years ago. So.
You're disrespecting this man.
I love Bon Jovi songs. I just literally his biggest songs.
What was the biggest hit?
You Give Love a Bad Name. There's one more that I can't think of right now.
I want to say Living on a Prayer, but I'm
Living on a Prayer. There you go.
There you go. I got a question too. I got a question too though. How's YG gonna chart? Where is he gonna chart? I'm interested. YG. This is the thing.
Wait. What name did you say?
YG. Where is he gonna chart?
I think they promoted that album fairly well. I think I could see a top 10 debut for sure because rap gets streams.
Yeah, I was just wondering because like since that first album he had with like Come On, you know, with that song, it's kind of been weird. Like people listen to his music, but I don't know if he's been like he's had hits like that. Even though I enjoy his second album a lot.
Okay, so I can pretty confidently say Savage Mode 2 is gonna be number 1. Blackpink, the album's coming in at number 2, and I think those numbers like hit. There's a Twitter account that makes really good predictions. There's only one that I follow, and according to that, it's saying Savage Mode 2 1, Blackpink number 2, and I think number 3 is probably gonna be an album that's already on there because I'm not sure. Or maybe actually YG. YG could be in the top 5. Other debuts that I'm looking forward to, maybe even Bon Jovi. I don't know. Other debuts that I'm looking forward to. I think Caliucci's I hope. That
all in Spanish though. It's all
I
in
don't
Spanish.
think so. I don't think so. The
it's
album's
a great
coming.
song.
We're ready, Cali. We're ready.
I mean, Taylor Park. People love Stevie Wonder, so maybe Taylor Park. You know, that's a cover. Maybe
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen. Ari Lennox, I'm hoping because Ari Lennox is just solid every time, dude. She
like that song?
Amazing music.
I enjoy. It was solid. I think it was solid though. It was solid. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You didn't like it?
Wait, what?
Ari Lennox, Chocolate Pomegranate.
I liked it.
It was solid. I thought it was solid.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah. And also
Giveon. I would love if Giveon had a nice debut.
He's not gonna. You think? I don't think he's gonna make it though.
I think he's gonna debut on the chart. I think he may be like.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like
top
50s around there, 50s. But I could definitely see him debuting.
It's
he
tough
has the face now, and he's like really talented. So yeah,
it's tough because it's an EP, so you never know, like depending on who the artist is.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
We'll look forward to probably 21 Savage, Blackpink top 2 on the Billboard 200. Meg Thee Stallion will be somewhere in the top 15. We're guessing. We'll write that down and check back next week, see how we did, because we've been pretty good with our predictions sometimes. I already know it's been a long episode. I already know.
We're at 30 minutes right now, and I started a little late. Maybe probably at like 35, 36 minutes.
We're fine.
This is weird because normally charts run down. I feel I'm so hyped because we're just starting, and I have all
it's a different feel. It's a different feel.
Okay, but heading into charts rundown, we actually did have some change this week, which is pretty nice on the Billboard 200.
A lot of change.
Yeah,
actually, I would say.
Billboard 200, Machine Gun Kelly, Tickets to My Downfall debuted at number 1.
The rock album.
It's a rock album. It sold 126,000 album units. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. But that was his first week for album units. And
that's his highest week ever.
63,000 were album sales. So
yeah, that's his highest week ever, I believe. His highest week. I think it's his first number one. It's his highest first week ever, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that. That's
I think it's
that's good for him, though. I mean, I think this is a good rebrand for him. Getting into rock, maybe scooting out of rap. I think that's, doesn't hurt for him.
I don't think it's a strong rebrand because I'm pretty sure he's been on tours with like a bunch of rock bands before, but
he's not the only rock band in the top 5 guys.
And no, exactly. I know he broke a record on he has the top, like, for rock albums, like one of the top debuts since, I can't remember the specific name, but there was like since
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Gosh, I'm gonna hate that I cannot remember. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, wait.
It's okay.
No, it's not. It's not okay.
Okay.
Just wait. Just bear with me. Tools. I don't know. It surpassed Tame Impala's The Slow Rush, which had the biggest week of the year prior to this, and has the biggest week since Tool's Fair Inoculum. If you listen to rock, I'm sure you know who Tool and all about Fair Inoculum.
Know who Tool is.
We do not.
Anyway, rounding out the top 5, Super M's album Super One, and I hear they're actually like the Avengers of South Korean music groups. They just took one person from a whole bunch of other groups and put them together. They debuted at number 2, and I think this is I want to say their first album, maybe.
It's called Super One, the first album.
They could have had Super Zero. I don't know.
Lord, Super One, the first. Exactly. The prequel. Come on now.
Nectar by Joji's at number 3. So
well deserved.
That's
Avery's. Yeah, that's Avery's album of the week. 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, it was Avery's project.
But and then Pop Smoke fell to number 4 from number 2, where he was at for a minute, but still in the top 5. Mm-hmm. And then Deftones.
They are a metal band.
Is that what it's called?
They're a metal band. So that's why I was saying MGK, while he's like obviously like a hip hop-ish artist who veered into a rock lane, we have like an established rock band here, a metal band in the Deftones.
How do you say their name? The album name. No, album name.
Ohms.
I wanted to make sure I don't want to sound goofy. But hey, they debuted at number 5. So I'm always here for when rock shows itself in the top of the charts, because that doesn't always happen that often. So I'm a fan of that. So yeah, I guess the only big change here is that Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke are kind of edging out of the top 5. Juice WRLD's at number 6 this week. There were a couple of debuts. Carrie Underwood might get up at number 8. This one that I guess we have to at least.
Well, you can just say the name.
Torey Lanez, J-Star, the album he decided to drop to respond to Meg Thee Stallion instead of maybe just responding with the public apology.
If y'all are listening to that, stop.
Yeah, because I'm more so, I think, upset. I'm not even upset, but I'm more so maybe surprised that this debuted in the top 10. So
well, I'm not surprised, honestly, because with controversy comes interest, and people are interested in what he had to say. I mean, I think people who hate Torey Lanez and people who love him, they both listen because they're like, I wonder what he had to say. So
yeah. We should have done Hot 100 first. I forgot what our topic was this week, but it's fine. We'll stop at like 20 maybe. But I do want to point out Sign of the Times by Prince that re-entered the chart, and I told you guys my CNBC brain has made me think this way. Whenever I see that, I'm like, well, what made it happen? And apparently they released like 3 different like deluxe editions of that album.
Yeah. What about the Carter 5 though? I'm interested why that's
that's random. That's random.
What are you trying to do? Oh, well, no, not on the pod. I don't want to eat a burrito in front of you guys. Sorry.
I'm eating donuts, so it's fine, but
just eat his weight. Oh my gosh, interrupting the pod. Sorry to our audio and visual listeners. But anyway, let's go to the Hot 100. Let's run there. Over on the Hot 100, not as much surprise, but Franchise. Well, actually, this was kind of a surprise because I wouldn't have guessed this happened. Franchise debuted at number 1 on the chart. And I'm personally surprised about that because it streamed. I got the numbers, so I had to figure out how this happened because it's a good song, but again, the surprise. 19.4 million streams, which is a lot. 98,000 physical unit sales. So that means 98,000 like between cassettes or other like merch purchases. I'm guessing that's probably what powered this to ultimately debut at number 1, and then 40,000 digital downloads. So the biggest number there, the most impressive one by far, physical units.
Travis Scott is like the king.
He's the king of that. That was one of our early topics. That was one of our early topics earlier this year when we talked about the Kenny Chesney thing. Yeah. About artists doing like
it's a test pod.
It was a test pod. Oh yeah, test pod episode. Travis Scott is literally the one that really I wouldn't say.
Wait, what did he? I don't even remember what we said Kenny Chesney did.
But Kenny Chesney, he basically did a bundle thing for his tour.
Oh yeah, that's how he got
he's how he got the number one over Drake.
Yeah, but Billboard like tamped down on those rules, and I want to say I know
it's not in effect yet. I believe.
No, I think it's just the rule. It's not. He's not bundling any of these like T-shirts. I think it's just people went on his site.
Yeah, he's just selling
bought like cassettes,
the CDs,
or like limited edition cassettes for CDs or something.
No, I agree, but I'm saying Travis Scott is the king of that because obviously it's not bundles, but anything Travis Scott with his name on it, his brand behind it, it's gonna have hype behind it, and people are gonna buy it. So like. If this was just like, hey, y'all, release a song, it might have been number one. I don't know. It might have still been in top 5, but like,
it's good enough.
I'm impressed.
That's what I'm saying though. But the fact that he's like, oh, we're gonna buy cassette, because nobody buys like singles of albums anymore. Like of like on like physical singles anymore. That's an old thing. Cassette. So
it's basically merch.
It's basically merch. It's basically merch. So.
Yeah, but in quick notes about Travis to give him his props, he's now the fastest artist to get 3 number ones. As you remember, he had Sicko Mode, Highest in the Room, and then this all within like I think 1 year. So that's kudos to him. This is the 9th number one debut this year, the 15th number one song period. So that's very impressive. But rounding out the top 5, if you want to go back to the top 5, Dynamite number 2, WAP, Laugh Not Cry Later, Mood. So I don't think either of those are pretty surprising at all. Looks like everything kind of just fell down one.
Yeah,
except for our favorite song of the year, "Holy" by Justin Bieber and Chance the Rapper, dropping to number 12.
I expect that to drop again next week.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting.
I'm surprised it only dropped this little. Personally,
yeah. Hey, relax now.
I'm not projecting. I'm just saying.
Avery, for the record, Avery is disgusted with this. Like, he hates it with a passion. Avery hates the song.
Homie. I'm just happy. I think it was better than Yummy, so I'm still gonna give it that.
Oh yeah, that's all.
Any other surprises on the chart? Anything that really caught you guys' eyes?
Not really.
Anything you've been watching move up and down all around?
Nothing really, honestly.
I saw Morgan Wallen. Avery, do you know who Morgan Wallen is? Are you familiar with him?
Yes, he was in the headlines this week because he was removed from Saturday Night Live tonight as the live performer because video came out of him partying in Alabama without a mask. He was replaced by Jack White. So Jack White is the musical host or guest.
They got Jack White fast. Right. I wonder how that call was like, Jack, you trying to get on the show?
He's probably in New York. Like, yeah, I'll do it.
But More Than a Hometown by Morgan Wallen, number 34. Maybe it'll go up higher with the press. True.
No bad press.
But yeah, other than that, I see a couple of Machine Gun Kelly debuts.
Hold on. If you go to number 88, my guy Neo and Jeremiah. I'm joking.
Your guy Neo.
It's not my guy. Randomly, my teacher did date him. She said back in like high school. That's a random thing. Yeah,
that is very random.
When I was supposed to go see Madonna in concert, Neo was supposed to open for her, and he just never showed up. So.
Oh, that guy.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah, Neil got some issues, man. Yeah, but also I'm actually really interested in this Zayn better. I haven't listened to that song. I'm actually, because Zayn is like supposed to be people's like second favorite guy from One Direction, right?
Yeah,
so he's our brown king.
He's our brown king, right? From One Direction.
Yeah, some of his like more recent debuts or songs haven't been like charting as high. I'm kind of confused with that.
He had that one song that killed it, and then
Yeah, I thought he had a very big bass, and then this guy at number 97.
Okay, hold up. I gotta call this out. Who is this? Put your records on, Rip Momney. Who that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Should I Google him?
Who the heck is planning to play on Mitt Romney during these times?
I think it's hilarious. I honestly thought it was hilarious when I saw that name because I'm like, I know Mitt Romney probably is like, who darn did it?
It's obviously. I feel like if
his real name is Rip Momney?
I'm so pissed. I'll be mad.
Well, it's a musical group, and they're an indie band. I assume their song is like a TikTok song.
Wait, hold on. Read the little about thing. Read the little about thing right there on the. No, it's a solo project. What is that?
Rip Momney is the solo project of 20-year-old Salt Lake City native Jack Rudder. Beginning as an indie rock band comprised of high school friends, the project became a personal outlet for Rudder after his bandmates left on Mormon missionaries and his girlfriend left for college. Wow.
Got it.
Good
got
for
it.
you, Rip Momney.
I got you.
I'm not going to be sad.
Well, I'm saying I get the play because, obviously Mitt Romney is Mormon.
Which is he?
Mitt Romney is Mormon. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
of course. Yeah, duh.
Yeah. To BYU, yeah. The whole nine.
Exactly. The whole nine. He was from Utah, the whole thing. So,
we should probably
move on.
Yeah, before one of us says something that messes us up.
I just say he's Mormon.
You guys, so our topic this week, they're going back to the Billboard 200. A couple of weeks ago, we had a discussion about, what's a classic, and that was very, very subjective. And I'm just thinking, if there was an objective way to determine what albums have withstood the test of time and are actual classics, it would be somewhere on the charts. So we've had a discussion a couple times during chart rundowns where we've just noted albums that have been on here for weeks, hundreds and hundreds of weeks. And now we're dedicating a topic to it by finding the true classics based on, hey, how many years have you been on the Billboard 200 and how many years have you just sat there? So to figure this out, the formula is not going to be your top 10 or top 20, even your top 50. Those are typically all going to be newer albums, falling or floating. But once you start getting to 55 and lower, you start to see some names that are wow, this is still on this chart. And that's what we're doing today. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What's a Real Classic, sponsored by Billboard.
Sponsored.
Nnamdi, how about you give your albums? Because before the podcast, Nnamdi was like, "Hey guys, let's pick 2 or 3 albums that you found in the bottom 100 that really stood out to you, that you really want to discuss and highlight." And I'm assuming, because I asked Avery what his were, and they're different from mine, so I'm just gonna assume we all had different.
I'm sure we're all different, but literally, if you just scroll, where do we even start? So the first one I saw that has been here for a minute, but I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, you start us off.
Okay, but I didn't want to talk about because I realized it was kind of a deluxe release. But if you go to 59, an Eminem greatest hits album.
Oh,
literally an Eminem greatest hits album can still re-enter the chart at 59 and has been here.
By the way, he put one of his worst songs ever. Probably his worst song of all time.
What song are you talking about?
FACK.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Literally the worst song that he's ever made on this album, which is incredible. So, anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
And then I'm I don't want to take anyone's pick, but I'm kind of just going to go in order and highlight some of the bigger ones so we get to 100. Because if you go right down a little bit more to 64, you see another classic that we've admitted is a classic. Isn't a debate, right? Good Kid, Mad City.
It's not a
414 debate. Weeks. I think is literally just sat here on this chart since its debut. Craziest thing about this, didn't even peak at number 1. It's never hit number 1. It peaked at number 2.
That's what I've noticed about a lot of these albums that have been here for a long time, is that they've never, a lot of them haven't peaked at number 1. Look at this Bob Marley thing. This is the longest one I've seen on here.
Never.
646 weeks at number 62. That is the longest I've seen on this list so far. It peaked at number 5.
And what do you think that says? That it didn't peak at number 1, but it just has lived on this chart, and therefore enough people are listening to it still every week.
Go ahead.
I think a lot of them are deluxe albums, and so not deluxe albums, but greatest hits albums. So when you have greatest hits albums, you're gonna have the people who are really dedicated to that artist, listening to them over and over again. But they're not necessarily gonna generate the hype, I guess, to get to number 1. If that makes sense.
That's really true, because 3 of the ones we saw are greatest hits.
And there's also kind of a theory. I want to say a theory, but just kind of a thought. With albums that are number 1 or top of the list, they're usually, I would say, very trendy-ish, I would say. So really representative of the times, I guess you would say. And although, these albums are also, different genres. You have reggae, you have Bob Marley, you have rock, you have, R&B, you have all kinds of albums on here. But I would say a lot of these albums that we're talking about that have been on these for weeks, they're kind of just timeless in terms of you can't necessarily name the year it came out. If it came out in 1980 or 2000 or something like that, you really wouldn't be surprised if you heard either, because you can't say, oh, this is exactly of that time, because and music has been influenced as we've gone on.
Exactly. So. And sort of to that point, but I think almost the antithesis of it, I then was well, what are some albums that are kind of recent-ish that I've just withstood the test of times? And drop a couple more. Divide by Ed Sheeran, but we don't talk about pop, but that's been here for hundreds of weeks, 187, and that peaked at number 1. And then drop 6 more, And you find what's really a classic, people have said as a classic on her debut. One more. Control, been on here, never peaked at number 1. 173 weeks it's been on the charts. That's a classic to me. And
according to Rolling Stone as well.
Rolling Stone, top 500 albums.
It was. I didn't steal anyone's pick. I'm like, does anyone else want to go? Actually, I got a couple loaded up.
Well, it's actually interesting you said that because I think the way I did it, because you have some ones that are actually pretty high, actually, like they were in the top 100. I kind of tried to, because those are like the ones which are all your picks were great, honestly. But I tried to kind of go like, let me see even lower, like the bottom 100, like 100 to like 200, which I was really in. And this one I would say is very it's not a surprise or anything like that. Thriller by Michael Jackson. It obviously peaked at number 1. But it's been on the charts for 438 weeks. It's number 146, which has been on here for 438 weeks. Which Thriller, I would say, honestly, we've talked about classic, and obviously since that infamous podcast episode, I've had some thoughts, things like that. And I think one of the things that really came up on both sides, I guess you would say, is like it has to be timeless. Something like that. It has to sound like it could have came out anytime. I think Thriller is the main example because that album is so iconic, and obviously an example of it being really popular. To me, this album, I wouldn't say it sounds like it could have came out anytime because it sounds like it came out in the 80s. But the songs have been played so many times. It's like there's certain example of classics that sound like Thriller sounds like it came in the 80s or late. It came in the 80s, right? It sounds like
but it's like, I think that's when it's like timeless is almost a better word, because it just sounds like even if it's old, it always hits. And like y'all, to your point, if you look at the singles from Thriller, every single one's a classic, like not even debatable. The Girl Is Mine, which was his song, Paul McCartney, big. Billie Jean, huge. Beat It, huge. Want to Be Starting Something, huge. Human Nature, huge.
We're gonna talk about Michael Jackson. What's better?
Y'all, people forget Thriller was the last single from that album.
I
think there's, and then I'm sorry, because I know now that we're talking about this album, I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong. The original release, you guys, had 9 songs on it. 7 out of the 9 were released, and 7 out of the 9 are those songs I just named.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
The songs from this album and his category in general is like woven into the fabric of like our daily lives, where it's like you just expect to hear these things places. Like it's I don't even know how to describe it. Where it's like it's achieved this level of fame and like.
I don't know. Human Nature is like the most. Human Nature is like, I don't know, the most sampled song in history.
Exactly.
Seriously.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
The songs exactly. That album is insane.
Which is insane. Which we're gonna speak on that, as we go forward. But the last one I have, which is a re-entry, I would say, but I would say it's a classic for sure, and it's actually a newer album. If you go to 199, my boy Nnamdi.
Avery does the computer.
Oh, Nnamdi, I'm tripping. Avery, my bad, Avery. My bad. Man on the Moon by Kid Cudi, The End of the Day. Which is which I would say is a classic. Well, we're not really talking about the classics, but I just to say this has really stood the test of time because this is an example for me specifically that doesn't sound like it came out like it's an old album necessarily. This sounds like it literally set the blueprint for the music we would hear for the next decade going because it came out in 2009 and going in 2010 to 2019, even currently, a lot of the artists that I would say are really popular and the sound that came from that, and even the music that came from that, and the topic of it is really is really representative of the time now. Because if you listen to the album, Kid Cudi's not an amazing lyricist. He's not like spinning crazy stuff like the wordplay. It was production. It was the production, and it was the way he sounded. Like he wasn't like, spiritual, lyrical. It was like
platinum. That is so surprising.
Which is even more surprising that it's not.
Also, he's very vulnerable on the album as well.
Very vulnerable.
Speaks a lot about his own mental health. I know a lot of people who have attributed Kid Cudi to that they felt seen when they heard this album. They felt validated when they heard this album.
Well, Kid Cudi's the artist I hear people connect with the most in terms of like, wow, when I was really going through a tough time, Kid Cudi's the guy who got me through it. And there's definitely been a weird time with like Kid Cudi where his music was like after this album where people, I won't say everybody felt the same way about each of the albums, but I would say this album, you can't deny the what he did on the album in terms of how it affected artists going forward. Because Travis Scott said, "This is the guy that really influenced me, for making music," and he's talking, and basically, he's talking about obviously like his mental health or whatnot, but he's talking about getting high a lot on the album, and that's really reflective of the music that's come out for the last 10 years.
And honestly, thinking about it, I think sometimes when we talk about Kanye's impact on music, we understate the hell out of Kid Cudi's impact on music, because they both provided an impact in a very similar way.
I agree.
But I would almost say, like, when it comes to production and kind of the shift that happened in like 2008, 2009, I think he was a big part of that.
Yeah.
But Look went higher, and that's just surprising. No wonder Hosier's kind of cool with this one album. One less. I'm sorry. One higher. One higher. Hosier's just kind of lived there. 186 weeks, chilling. Yeah. That to me is like a cult following classic, where like you may not hear it a lot, but like clearly 2-time platinum.
Run the Jewels came out. Run the Jewels came out this year. Is that a classic already?
No, that's unfortunately
both Hozier and Kid Cudi, both their albums never debuted at number one. By the way.
Interesting.
So one thing we're also learning, number one, it says nothing about quality of music. We all knew that, but like I think that just shows that even more. If you go, Avery, what are your picks before I just start doing my random free for all?
For sure.
I forgot where it was. I didn't write it down because that was a little negligent of me. But my first album was 1989 by Taylor Swift.
Why don't you just search it
somewhere?
It's Religion debuted on here. We need to look down here more often.
Oh, I saw it. I just number 44, which is dope. But I think that's strictly us that got it on there.
Stop it.
I just wanted to bring up this Taylor Swift album because it's insane. I looked it up. The accomplishments she's able to have through this album are insane. So I looked it up. It spent 303 weeks on the Billboard 200. It's only the fourth album by a woman to spend at least 300 weeks on the Billboard 200. She joins Adele with 21.
21, yeah.
Which, by the way, has spent 482 weeks.
Wait, say the artist. Let's see if you can guess the album. Keep on going.
Lana Del Rey.
Born to Die.
Yes. And Carole King.
No clue.
Tapestry. So she just continues to break records with this album, which I think, to me personally, is my favorite album of hers. And if you're going to look through the track list of this album, it's felt like every song off this album also was a hit and also like had some sort of like viral music video or something. So I thought that was very impressive.
You know what?
Yeah, that is very impressive.
And this is the thing I gotta say too about Taylor Swift. I think sometimes with these super popular artists who are the biggest pop artists in the world, I don't want to say this, but music purists or music gatekeepers or whatever you want to call them, or the people who feel like, music is for them and they get to decide who likes music. I think they're really negligent of like, they're the poppiest artists in the world. They are the biggest selling artists. That music's not staying the test of time. It's really trendy. It's not poppy. It's not really real music. Real music, as you would say.
Yeah.
But I would say somebody who respects music and whatnot. This went away. It respects music and whatnot, and you really can't deny the success of Taylor Swift and the effect she's had on people. I mean, Taylor Swift music is just not for me. It's not personally, but like that album's a classic, maybe already, probably 1989.
I think people probably consider that a Taylor Swift classic.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the album's been on 303 weeks, and let's think about it. That's a really like, when did the album come out, Avery? When did the album come out?
2013, maybe 15,
something around there.
It didn't come out. And look, okay, that's the thing.
Actually,
we talked about Kid Cudi's album, who came out probably before that, and it's only been under 100, 180 and 140 weeks, something like that. This album came out, 6 years ago.
It ever has left the chart.
It has not left the chart. It has not left the charts. It has not left the charts. Say what you want about Taylor Swift. The girl writes her own music. It really connects with a lot of people. And whatever you say, she's really personable and she's really relatable in that sense.
Yeah.
Say what you
want. Avery, do you have anyone? I want to point out one person, but go ahead.
I have one more that I was going to point out. So I kind of cheated and took two albums here. So I was going to look at Nothing Was the Same by Drake. And so hold on. Okay. It spent 349 weeks on this chart, right? Okay. Keep that number in mind. 349. Okay. And then I'm gonna scroll up to 101 and see Take Care.
Okay. We were about to do the same
only
thing.
Spent 50 more weeks on the chart. Why are these two albums like almost the same on how long they both spent on this chart?
Well, I think that may actually be when Nothing Was the Same came out pretty soon after Take Care, I feel.
Was it interesting?
Really? It may just, I wonder if that's just like, have they both just been there? Like when did Nothing Was the Same come out?
Nothing Was the Same come out in September 2013.
And then Take Care
came out 2 years after.
Yeah.
So,
Take Care?
Yeah.
Wait, and then, wow, and there's just like, a 50-week difference?
There's like a 50-week difference, like a year-long difference.
That is it. That's very interesting. Avery, I'm happy you brought us here though, because I feel Drake is someone who we don't see it now, but time is gonna say Drake had a 3-album classic.
Because Views is on this list as well, by the way.
Because people are gonna say, maybe not 3 straight out, but people time. I'm telling 10 years from now, people are gonna say Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, and Views were classic albums from Drake.
Yeah,
time has been and will continue to be kind
people make fun of Drake for being the commercial pop guy or whatever, but the fact that Drake has 3 albums that have all been on this chart that I want to say longer than 300 weeks. But what's Views at? Right? Views probably isn't that long yet.
Probably in the hundreds or maybe 200s. Yeah, probably pushing it. There it goes.
231,
which is still incredible.
In fact, but Matt what was his debut again? What was that album called?
So Far Gone.
So Far Gone.
Is that on here?
Or Thank Me Later, one of those.
Oh, More Life is on here, 184 weeks. Drake will never be poor.
This is the thing about Drake too, which I actually have to. For me personally, I've been really hesitant to give Drake the classic stamp, I would say. I think we all kind of have too, though. I think we would all say that. I think I've been the most harsh in terms of, and I love Drake for the record. We all love Drake. But I've been the person who's been the most rigid on like, to me, Drake only has one classic, which is Take Care, which I would say it's a classic easily for me. But that's really interesting that Nothing Was the Same, because to me, out of all the Drake albums, from at least what I see, because Drake fans are all over the place, that's the album I see that kind of gets lowballed the most in terms of like.
I see a ton of people say Nothing Was the Same as their favorite.
To me, that's my favorite because it's his most concise. It's his best project. He was the most focused on that album. It's short. It's like 13 songs, not the deluxe. It's like 13, 12 songs. But it's really interesting. And for me personally, I feel like time's gonna pass me by because I don't see like Nothing Was this. Like I think Take Care is his only certified classic to me. But time might prove me wrong and might be like, yo, Views is a classic to people. Take Care is a classic to people. And at one point I might have to be like, hey, heck, it's gonna be a classic.
That's why, I don't think it's gonna be us to decide anymore. I literally think with time, if it's not us and the next generation will look back and say, when they're saying what were the top albums, what are the classics at that time.
I agree.
Drake's his name's gonna be thrown in there 3 times.
And honestly, we're
debuted at 143.
Wow. Ouch. That's another conversation. The man sold 12. The man sold 12 albums this week. This is the thing though. I think we also have to give time because we also spoke about this. I think when a lot of these albums are like certified classics, like when Nirvana, like that's the album that's a certified classic, one of the top albums ever. When it came out, were people saying, "Oh, that's an easy classic right now"? I think now, because we live in this time of Twitter, we live in this time of, labeling something as the best when it comes out. We want things right now. We're so quick to label things as, classics and whatnot. And, I think back then, I don't think people were doing that. Maybe not. But from what I get, people were doing it.
I agree with you, but I don't agree with that for Drake. Just because the 3 albums we're talking about all came out, like Take Care was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing Was the Same was almost 8 years. I think we're getting to the point
where
that's in fact able to look back and say this has literally had an impact every year since it came out. People have listened to it enough every year since it's came out. I think if anything now is the time to start having those conversations, and I think people will. I think the conversation of how many classics does Drake have is going to just blow up more and more.
I agree, but it's just, I'm really weird because we say 10 years, but 10 years is really not a long time. It's a long time for us, but 10 years is really not a long time because rap is such a young. It's such a, that's the thing. Rap is such a young genre. Like, it's for the youngest genre out. It's been out for only 30, 40 years. Rock's been out for 100 years. Yeah. R&B's been out for 100 years. Metal's been out for 100 years. Reggae's been out for 100. It's really weird. And
wait, I don't know. Metal has not been out for 100 years.
Well, it's been out for a long time. That's the thing. I'm saying. I was being obviously exaggerating, but
I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Brent Faiyaz, F the World, classic already.
Is that
no, 44. I mean, only 10 weeks, but the album's still incredible. But
wait, what? So can we go to 129 really quick?
We're at an hour, by the way, from my late clock.
Okay, we're about to finish up.
Can we go to 129 really quick? Because of course, you know, I'm gonna have to talk about it. Oh, wrong album. 109 maybe. Is that it?
Lil Mosey? Is that who you want to talk about?
Wrong. Hold on. Just wait. It's what something. This is so unprofessional.
What's the artist? What's the artist?
I'm not telling you. 106. Y'all know I'll be my 6s and 9s be flipping.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
If you want to say he only has one classic, fine. But we're gonna start acknowledging, but like undisputably, that he has one classic. Because Rolling Stone, I still have an issue with you, and I can't leave myself after that list. Because there's no way you're gonna take 500 albums. 500 albums and not put Merciless Drive on it, but put Fine Line by Harry Styles on it. I'm never gonna lie down and just take that. So I want to acknowledge again, how long has Fine Line been on this chart? Let's look at that.
Well, Fine Line's a new album, which is different.
Okay, and it's actually number 19 after 42 weeks, so we don't have to go to Fine Line. The point is,
why are you picking on Fine Line?
Well, God, I'll pick. No, honestly.
Y'all, was there other albums? Because I do enjoy Fine Line. It was that was the first album that I was like, Cole's not here, but this
like hers album was on there.
Her and Tierra Whack was on there. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing with that thing. Is like I can speak of a lot of artists that I feel like deserve that respect way more than Tierra Whack and her, which are great artists in their own right. But
and I hope like I can't get. I think that's what it boils down to. Like that was a disrespectful.
Yeah.
To J.
For
Cole.
sure.
But anyway,
Nnamdi,
3 times platinum, 304 weeks on the chart. Just wanted to showcase a great album. Is there that album? American Team by Avery? I want to do the thing you recommended. I want to talk about the albums that may be classics that we may not anticipate based on this, because American Team by Khalid.
I love this album so much.
Too. This is a great album. My Passion Fruit album is actually like 6 songs from this song. My Passion Fruit playlist, has like a whole bunch of songs from this album. Check it out.
This came out like right at the start of my senior year of high school, and I think it was about like his senior year of high school, and it was just so like perfect. Like it was a perfect soundtrack for that.
Y'all
year.
the same person.
Basically from El Paso. He's from Texas. Great.
Yeah. So any other final thoughts on the true classic?
Well, no. Hold on. I'm gonna do a thing, because I said the whole thing about we should see what we anticipate what we hear. I'm just gonna name out a number, and then you guys just tell me if you think the album could be a classic soon, so we can be fast with it. Okay.
Okay.
87.
Okay.
Let me sure to say the album you get.
No. 87 is Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B. Nnamdi's favorite.
How long has it been on here? Come on, give us some detail.
130 weeks.
3 times platinum. Okay. Same as J. Cole and Khalid.
Oh.
Interesting enough.
No. That's just
good album. It's a good album.
It's cool, I guess.
No, I'm so muted.
I mean, cool album. I know about 4. I can't even give an opinion because I only know I've never listened to this album full through. I can't even lie. I've only heard the big pop songs, like the pop songs.
So do you think it's fair for you to say it can't be a classic if you've never?
It's not fair. I don't know. And we've never, honestly, even if you listen to to me, a classic, just because, even if I like it or dislike it, it might not. I don't know. No, I have no opinion on this album.
I think your podcast homework, you have to listen to Invasion of Privacy.
Do I have to listen to Invasion of Privacy?
I want us to come back to this. I think you should do that. Listen to that album, and then next week, ask that question.
I'm cool with that. Ooh.
Avery, can we add that to the log so Noah doesn't, I said we didn't do it. You need to know that. And the
all right, Nnamdi, sure. give us another one, Nnamdi.
Okay, next one, 110.
110. Oh, I know what this is. Oh.
So we have Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
Honestly?
180 weeks on the chart, and is 3 times platinum.
And remember, the question is, will time call this a classic? That's the question.
Probably because people love Kendrick and they give everything a Kendrick classic. Right now, it's tough. It's tough. You can't see in the future how people feel, but I think people are gonna call this a classic. A lot of people think Kendrick has 4 classics already, like all his albums. People think Kendrick has 4 legit classics, which I don't think that. I think he legit has 2, in my opinion, that are like certified classics already.
What would be
this one's debatable.
Wait,
this is really debatable.
Are they calling Untitled and Mastered a classic?
No, I'm talking about
Section
80. Section 80. They call that a cult classic. Good Kid, Mad City, Pimp Butterfly, and Damn. People say As for a Clock. To me, it's just Pimp Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City are his own certified classics. But
it's two like easy classics, and then this one's debatable.
Yeah, people will debate that, and people were debated hard. Obviously, Kendrick was in the news with Lupe, and people were like, "He has 4 classics. You know, he's the greatest ever." So,
okay.
So yeah.
Okay, 118. I'm only gonna do like 3 more.
Okay.
The Beauty Behind the Madness by The Weeknd has spent 265 weeks on the chart.
There's a thing.
4 times platinum.
This is what I gotta think about. This is what I gotta say about this dang album. This album, there's a thing about Weeknd which I have to respect. A lot of artists, a lot of people said, this guy's the next Michael Jackson. This guy's the next Michael Jackson. He sounds like Mike. The Weeknd,
sorry, go on.
He literally, without trying to sound like Mike, sounds like Mike. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I thought you were going in a different direction.
It's just insane. I don't know if this album is a classic because it's tough, because I think this album was the most popular. It's the one that really thrusted him into the. But from Weeknd fans, I definitely would say House of Balloons is the album that people. It's a cult classic to me. I don't know if this is a classic. I don't know. It's tough.
So
I think it will be, honestly. But
absolutely, I think this album still is. I think it'll be timeless for a long time.
Absolutely.
Go back to this album, listen to it.
It's incredible.
And I think it is. I think the difference between this and Starboy won't be timeless in 10 years. But I think it was a good album. But this is a strong, like, I think every single song on here still is like amazing. It's the perfect in between like really raunchy, like House of Balloons.
Oh no, it's raunchy. Really what you talking about?
And really poppy. Like, it's a perfect in between.
Wait, hold on.
No,
this man just said.
I'm saying it's the perfect in between like super raunchy Weekend and like pop friendly Weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yes, you have songs like Often and Tell Your Friends, but then you have like The Hills and Can't See My Face.
The Hills is such an amazing song. To this day.
So
we're gonna talk about The Weeknd one day. We're gonna have a discussion one day about that
one. 137.
Ooh. This is Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight by Travis Scott. It has spent 212 weeks on the chart and is platinum.
I don't even know if I could speak on Travis Scott, because to me this is a hard no. But
it's not a classic. It's a damn good album though.
That's the thing. I'm just not a great Travis Scott fan. Like, I'm not really a big Travis Scott. I listen to this album.
Be a quick yes, no.
No.
I'll say no.
No.
But it's really good. It's really good.
Okay. Avery, 152.
I'm skipping this 152.
Oh my God. Don't even talk to this man. Don't talk to this man.
Easy class. This is Blonde by Frank Ocean. Spent 198 weeks on the chart and is platinum. You know my opinions. I listen to this album every week. Like, it's new. So I'm going to say yes. But Noah, I wouldn't be mad if you disagree.
Well, no, what do you have to say? What'd you say?
No, I said Noah.
No, can you go first, please? I want to hear your thoughts.
I would love for you to go first. So I asked the question.
This is tough, man. This is tough. I really enjoy this album a lot. This is tough, y'all. This is really tough. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
I think
I'm gonna say no.
Only has one undisputable classic, and I don't think it's this one. I think it's
Channel Orange. Channel Orange.
Fair.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's the only other album. Well, I guess there's 2 more. But
yes.
The only
we're almost done. Every time I say I have a last one, I see another one that I think is.
It's the last one. Last one.
This isn't the last one. I'm sorry. 168, and then I have one more that'll be the last one.
Oh wait.
Ooh, I saw this has been here forever.
And hey, this is not 24K Magic.
No. This is Doo-Wops and Hooligans by Bruno Mars.
This is the one with
90 weeks on the chart.
There's like the Lazy song, Grenade.
This is the one.
Middle school.
Just the way.
No, I think that was before.
No, it's that album. It's that album. I guarantee it.
Oh wait, maybe I'm not thinking of the right album.
This album came out, I think, when I was in middle school.
Yeah, Just the Way You Are is on that song.
Wow. What are some other songs? I'm thinking of the one he put out after.
He has Grenade, Marry You, stuff like that. He has a song with CeeLo Green.
Bruno Mars have 2 classics. I consider 24 Karat Magic assumed to be classic.
Honestly,
or is it just a good album that people listen to because it's pop?
This is a good album.
This is a good album. This is a good album.
So no on the classic?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, and then 170. Oh shit. I mean, sorry.
Wait, what's up with this pot? We are not an explicit podcast. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I keep on wanting to be done, but then there's more. I'm not. I was gonna do 176, but we can.
Two more, and then we're done. Two more.
176 is yes. Adele's a classic.
Oh, yeah, easy classic. Easy.
182 and 184, and I'm gonna say that's one because we're on the same page.
Mac Miller, Too Soon, came out last year. Can't say that.
Yeah. Anti. That's my favorite Rihanna album. So.
It's my favorite Rihanna album. I don't know if I can say classic, but that's my favorite Rihanna album. But I don't know if I can say classic.
I think that maybe Rihanna to be honest with you, Rihanna's like only easy classic.
It's her masterpiece.
To us. I think it's the one that I think that's the one that really got other people who's like, oh, Rihanna, who cares? I think there's one that's like, wow, Rihanna is really a great artist. Because she was actually creating great music on here, so respect it.
Well, hey.
Did you guys see that tweet? Did you guys see that tweet that said, I can't believe Rihanna let Tame Impala cover The Less I Know the Better a year before she released it?
She literally did the song.
It was better. Yeah, she did better.
She just did it better too, but she did do it better. It's still great.
That has to hurt. Oh, we didn't do one of my. I wanted to do a guest.
All right, just do it. Just do it.
Thing. We're gonna end it, but it was Vin Diesel's album charted on the Dance Electronic chart, and I thought his song charted on the Dance Electronic chart. And I thought that was funny.
Shouts to Vin Diesel.
The air horn button go off.
I saw that too. That's the most 2020. That's the most 2023. Vin Diesel released a song.
It was an atrocious song, but I'm happy for him.
Rebrand.
He's still coming out like Fast and Furious 30 next year.
So let's go on to project of the week because I know this is long. Avery, tell us what you have.
My project of the week is All These Letters by Bad Bunny. Is the first album he released this year, kind of the major album he released this year. He had the second one, which were like throwaways off of this album.
For our audio listeners, Avery.
What was that?
For our audio listener.
You want me to say that it's YHLQMDLG by Bad Bunny? I don't speak Spanish. I speak very minimal Spanish. I can understand some. I know some of what he's saying on this album. To say for me that I know everything, the topic of every song in this album would be very false. I just really like the way it sounds. And for me, if it's memorable, purely based on sound for me, I think that's fantastic. So I really granted, don't know what he's saying. Love the album. I really do. So
I actually like that. I kind of love that that's your analysis. I don't know what he's saying, but he's saying it right. And I know some of it is just really nasty and horrible, and I can't. And it's just great. Love it. Noah, tell us about Finn by Sid.
Finn by Sid came out in 2017. One of the best albums that year. Yeah, man, Sid's just a solid. She's one of my favorite singers out right now. Obviously, I say what she's most notably known for being in the internet, the group with Steve Lacy and their band and whatnot. But this is her solo project from 2017. Really good listen. 12 songs, 37 minutes. Just a good listen. She's singing. I love her voice. It's beautiful, honestly. I get a crush on her every time I listen to it. So yeah.
Aww.
I mean, Sid has a beautiful voice. Her voice is beautiful. So,
is there something you want to say to Sid live on the pod?
Yes, I have a crush on Sid. Sid, her voice is incredible.
This is our clip for the week.
I think
our next artist interaction is Noah professes love for Sid.
I mean,
Noah,
Sid is incredible. Her music's incredible, and she has a beautiful voice. I find Sid very attractive. Yes, she's very pretty. There's no problem with that. Yes, my girlfriend likes Sid too. My girlfriend has this crush on Sid too. She's okay with this.
Calling her. We don't do real names. I'm calling Carmen right now.
See, now that's messy. You already know what's gonna come from this pod episode right now. You already know what's gonna happen.
I just said we don't do real names. Carmen knows.
This has gotten very messy very fast.
This got messy really quick. Okay, Nnamdi.
So to wrap it up, you guys, full disclosure, because I'm gonna be real on this podcast. I wanted to review my project of the week, but your co-host didn't want that. I'm gonna call him out right live on the pod. Savage Mode 2, 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, and Morgan Freeman's masterpiece.
For the record, I love this album too. I really enjoyed this album.
So this album, I think is really good. I think it's a very good album. And one, it's a trap album, yes, but I think it is by far one of the most well-rounded, well-produced. Just even calling it a trap album, I'm not sure if that's correct. It's very, very good. It's well made. Production is great. They have Morgan Freeman doing all these doing all these like narrations and interludes and stuff. Metro Boomin's production is crazy, and 21 Savage is rapping his butt off. And I'm a huge every single song. I just was listening to the whole album on loop.
Yeah, there was some
Glock in my lap, love it.
Ooh, Glock in my lap.
Rich, great. My dog. There's literally every song I was a huge fan of. So
yeah, I agree. There's really good listen. I don't think it's a bad thing to say it's a great trap album because it is trap, but there's a lot of sounds that you wouldn't expect to hear on a trap album, I guess you would say, which I think is really good. Even though it's not, I wouldn't say, even though it's like it's thematic, obviously, because Morgan Freeman's narrating throughout the whole album. I wouldn't say it's like this deep album, but it's just really cohesive. Like every song really flows to the next one. It's just really solid, which I really enjoy a lot. So
sometimes cohesion isn't about like lyricism. What you're saying is just about how it sounds. And like
exactly, that's what I base it off of. That's what I base it off of.
That's what Metro Boomin's really good at.
I listened to this whole album on loop, and I wasn't getting tired of it. So absolute artist of the week. I think honestly, it's one of the best trap albums in a minute. So
yeah, and cohesion doesn't necessarily mean it all sounds the same. I just feel like it really flows together because
all it means is flow. The whole thing is it flows together, and it sounds like all the songs are meant to be on that one project. So
I agree.
He picked a good. How many songs are on here? He picked a good 44 minute quick listen. Quick fan.
Yeah.
Look at us go having 2 trap albums on here. That's I feel like that's growth.
True. What do you mean 2 trap albums?
Bad Bunny is a trap album.
It's a trap. Wait a second. It's trap. You didn't say that. This man just said we're the biggest Latin artist. You never said trap.
Yeah, it's just like.
Is Latin trap a genre? Is that like its own genre?
I mean, yeah, but that's just what he's music says.
I'm going to Apple Music right now and checking the genre right now.
It is like just Bad Bunny makes trap music.
Oh, it says Urbano Latino, which is basically for the hood Latin folks.
That's like he speaks in Spanish music.
He speaks Spanish, but he's from the hood, if you feel me.
Okay, I'm trying to like listen to. Okay, sure. Okay, cool. So 2 trap albums, love it.
2 trap
albums, love that for us.
Love it.
And that's gonna be a topic one week because now I'm like, what does trap mean?
We got a lot of topics from this episode.
Yeah, but anyway, this is a good week. This is a good episode. Thank you all for listening to us for the last hour, and I'm gonna say 15 minutes, maybe, if I'm guesstimating us right.
Oh, you want to feel a little bit higher than that?
Oh,
hour 20, 22.
He got a compliment saying that someone liked our pod, and Spillage Village watched. Y'all should watch too. But anyway, thank you all for listening to another episode of the 97 Demo. Be on the lookout for our 97 Demo playlist, which will drop Monday on Twitter. It is this podcast curated into one playlist. So if you don't feel like listening to us talk, listen to music. Follow us on Twitter at the 97 Demo. Share, subscribe us. We're on everything: Apple Music, SoundCloud, Spotify,
all the things you listen to,
YouTube. So yeah, and guys, any final notes? No.
Mm-hmm. Hey
go
Sid.
Mizzou, go Tigers.
Hey Sid.
You can send her a little snowflake emoji.
Hey Sid. Chill. Go Tigers. Yeah, go Mizzou. Go Tigers. Good win today.
Good win. Okay, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.